Alright, what's going on YouTube? So we are doing level 15, City of Lozagon. This is the veteran mode campaign. You have a level 10 hero that is maxed out, starter hero, and we have the Master Architects, Iron Will, Pit Lord, Fear of the Damned, and Soul Echoes for our upgrades, same as the last video. Let's go ahead and hop into it. I've waited a long time to face you. A legendary wizard's confrontation. Okay, so we have this city level and lots of stuff goes on. It's a very interesting level. I really like the way the developers designed it. There's like all kinds of like little surprises that can really throw you off. If you're not prepared for it, it may even lose you the game. So I will try to point them out as we continue through this level. Pretty standard setup. I just went ahead and put mages in the back, archers in the front, harassers right here, kind of, and then pretty much putting most of the points into the archers because I know they're always going to be useful, and there are quite a few things on this level that are weak against the physical damage. Now you see that cornucopia looking house with the eye on it in the back on the top right hand side. That thing will eat your reinforcements. It'll also eat your barracks, so be really careful not to place your guys in its range, otherwise it'll just eat your guys. It's super frustrating. I don't know, that's it's almost overpowered. That basically means you just cannot put guys there. If enemies get past that point, then just put them super far back, because they will be completely useless if you try to put them in the range of the cornucopia. Now, my guy, I just move here to the front just to basically just kill the stuff as soon as quickly as possible, and called the wave in early. Archer tower goes down at the bottom here, and we're just clumping up. We don't want the dogs to slip past because they will, again, they will end your game if they get past. So just be careful. And we get a level 2 archer tower as quickly as possible. Most of this stuff is just very weak against archers, so we want to do that. This sorcerer guy, he will just generally be annoying. You can see he's teleporting units at the bottom, and if you're not prepared for that, they can slip past your defenses as well. So you're going to want to set up some kind of defense. I had to move my hero back and drop my reinforcements to stall these guys out. Fortunately, they're not very strong. They're like the squishiest ones, but still, you have to be careful. I upgraded my harassers as well because I knew they're gonna need to soak up quite a bit of damage. And I think this is where I goof up. Yeah. So see how it immediately got eaten when I dropped my reinforcements. So I had to drop my soul impact just to kill off that guy there. So it's very, just be careful. Put your guys just out of the Vitch range if you're going to drop them. And again, fair amount of things going on here. Mostly I'm upgrading my archer towers, but I also put points into the mausoleum as well. You can see the mausoleum's coming out. They're very useful towers because the gargoyles will not be shut down, even when he casts his magic to shut down your tower. So the gargoyles will still do damage. And it looks like I put my reinforcements just out of range of the tongue. Otherwise, they would have gotten eaten. Fully upgraded Mausoleum Tower, I should say. Just to get that max DPS. It's really going to be helpful against these armor guys and also for the eagles. Our hero is just chilling down here at the bottom. I didn't want them to get past because I don't have too many towers set up. This green poison, just try to move your guys whenever they go get dumped on. Otherwise, the poison will kill them off, so that can be really annoying. There's a lot of like little microing things you have to do. It's not like, I wouldn't say it's terribly hard, but there's just lots of microing. That's pretty much it. The first part, at least the first like third of this level, is fairly slow. I could probably be doing a better job getting my hero on top of these archers. Okay, so arcane mages They can teleport their allies and they just do magic damage, but otherwise they're very squishy. So Archer Towers do kill them pretty quickly, and so does your hero. We are at that stage of the game and the later levels where you get introduced to enemies that will kind of punish you for not microing and not using your heroes in a smart way. So notice at the top here, these houses will get up and walk to the end of the level. They count as a unit, so they're very tanky, but fortunately they don't do a lot of damage because that harasser is able to just sit there and tank it for a long time. But think because that's one of the reasons why having that mausoleum tower maxed out was really important. Just be aware of that. And there are 2 more houses you can probably see at the bottom. They will eventually get up and start walking towards your checkpoint, and if you're not prepared for that, they will cost you a life or 2. So that's probably. I was actually really scared the first time I saw it. Like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna lose a game to this. But yeah, level 3 Inferno and level 4 Mausoleum upgraded down here. And look at that tongue. It just ate my guys, and then I upgraded it, and it ate him again. So there's really no cooldown to that. It's just if they're in range, they will die. So make sure they're out of range. I goofed there, and I wasn't really paying attention, but it's something you should definitely keep in mind. Now, lots of guys clumping up, so I drop a Soul Impact, I believe. Oh, no, I guess I don't. Okay. But you notice the Archer Towers are getting maxed out. That's going to be really important. And otherwise, not too bad. The Mausoleums are great here because when you don't have a setup, like notice there's not really, it's kind of rounds. There's no real choke point where you can easily set up. So Mausoleums are great when this happens because they kind of act as their own choke point. They can summon the gargoyles. And they're more rapid. They're kind of like a rapid fire mage tower as opposed to the Inferno mage, which is very slow. So when you don't have a lot of, like a great place to put the Inferno mages, you stick with the Mausoleums, and they're just kind of good on their own. They do good damage, and they also can summon the gargoyles, which are, act as their own like barracks pretty much. So lots of stuff coming down here. I do drop a Soul Impact to kind of clear up these mage guys. They do if they're able to drop their little arcane spells, they do a fair amount of damage, so just be aware of that. And I'm leveling up my Mausoleums. The wizard thing in the center, you can't do anything to stop his abilities. You just kind of cast them. The only thing you can really do is react to them. So just little microing things. Lots of guys running by. I'm trying to be careful not to lose my hero, but I think he does end up dying. And upgrading the Mausoleum, of course. Yeah, so we lost our hero. We're putting points into the harassers, and we're upgrading our Mausoleum so they don't, hopefully, to create maximum amount of stall. And I don't want to put too many towers in the very back, just because they aren't very useful. But I do put an Inferno mage. We're gonna get some gargoyles out in a minute to help with a lot of the stuff running on the bottom. And my hero, I should be microing him a little bit better. But yep, here come the gargoyles. And there's a house. It's another house that's walking. It just gets up and walks. So I will use my hero to stall a little bit, and thankfully the Mausoleums will just chunk this guy down pretty quickly. I'd say the top is actually a little bit easier because there's just like between the harasser, the Inferno mage, and then the Mausoleum, there's just a lot of damage. So I never really had any trouble at the top lane. It was a pretty clean game. Whenever the mage tower does his little, or the center guy, whatever he does that little wave, it makes the guys invulnerable. So these high sorcerers, they can polymorph your guys, but thankfully they're very slow moving, so I would just have your hero stall them out a little bit if you're worried about it. And you want to try to get them in range of your magic tower so they can slowly chip them down. You can see I'm trying to micro my hero. Just pay attention, see he's getting shot at with arrows. You don't want him just to stand there and die like that. So if he's getting low, always make sure he moves out of the way. As far as these sorcerer guys go, they're a lot of armor, but they're very slow. So I just try to stall them as best you can with your reinforcements and your hero, and make sure they stand in range of the mage towers as long as possible. They also give a good amount of gold when they die, so it's actually pretty easy. You can see if they're just standing there, they just take a ton of damage. But they did polymorph one guy. And they can also only polymorph certain guys, so like your hero can't be polymorphed. I don't believe the gargoyles can be polymorphed either. It's pretty much just the barracks, and I think some of the reinforcements can be polymorphed. For the most part throughout the game, I kept my hero at the bottom, because most of this, like they can teleport to that little circle area where my hero's standing, and there's just like a lot of like little things that try to run past. So pretty much everything at this point will be upgraded. I'm almost maxed out here, or almost max upgraded. Now it's just getting the little upgrades but all the towers are level 4 or close to it. Now we're just getting things like Prioritized gargoyles are good. I also like the harassers. I like the harassers, the archer, where they do the bows. That's a good upgrade. You'll see here in a minute. I also choose to do the arrows for the archer towers, the upgraded arrows, so they can really help steal some of these low armor guys. But otherwise, not too bad. Be careful. Just drop your reinforcements on top of the elven guys, so they can't just sit there and cast all of their arrows. Otherwise, they will kill whatever gargoyle or hero you have out. So yep, just a little microing, not too big, nothing too fancy. Our goal is just not to lose our hero. But I wasn't paying attention there, I don't think. And harassers are also great because when your towers get disabled, they're still able to do a lot of damage. So harassers and gargoyles are very useful. At this point, I would just go ahead and upgrade your archer towers. You can put the upgraded arrows, and you can focus on the DPS as well for the mausoleums, which you can see I did at the one in the center. While your hero is moving, he can't actually die. So notice like there was a lot of stuff shooting at him, but as long as he keeps moving, he won't die. The final house gets up and starts moving around. So you can see the harassers at the bottom are fighting it. So just be careful with that. It shouldn't be too much of a problem if you have the upgraded mausoleum and harasser tower, but if you don't, that can actually end your game. And other than that, just micro here back and forth. You can see the possession ability is doing really good work on these sorcerer guys. And for the most part, they're just dying before they even get in range of the gargoyles, which is good. And here's where I started putting in the upgrades for the arrows. I have quite a bit of money, 540 gold right now. It doesn't really do you much benefit to hold on to. I think I was just uncertain about exactly what I wanted to upgrade, but I would be a little more liberal in terms of how fast you spend. If you see a good upgrade, just go ahead and upgrade it. There's this level you get a lot of gold, so there's really no point in holding back. And this is the final wave. So if you have a defense that looks something like this, Mausoleum Towers on the inner circle, and then we went with 2 Harasser Towers, and the Inferno Mage Tower, just one Inferno Mage Tower, and it seemed to work pretty well. It was a very clean level, actually. I got to the end of this level, and I'm like, I was somewhat surprised. I thought, well, that's it. It was a very easy. It was nothing, not very close at all. And I decided to put the remaining points mostly into this Inferno Mage Tower just to get the teleports and the little area damage. But this is the last little bit. You can see the possession on the Sorcerer Golem thing is really good. It's a ton of stalling power. And just getting maximum DPS here to kill off a lot of those little guys. Hero coming down the bottom, and this should be it. So drop one last level impact, and the elves will die. Just 1 second. There we go. Now it's funny because this is like the game ends, but there's still a guy on the board, and that's because he's possessed by the mausoleum. So we see the little animation ending the game. My power couldn't stop you. Maybe we could start bargaining. But the game is still going on because the top guy is still fighting. It's really funny. I can't end the game. I won't get to the final animation until that guy dies. There we go. Alright, well, that is the game. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good one.